Hello and welcome to the 7th Dawntrail Dungeon Boss Guide video series, yada yada whatever. Anyway, the first boss will begin with Barbed Below, which is unavoidable raid-wide damage. The next mechanic is Heavyweight Needle. This will spawn multiple avoidable cone AoEs, and what you need to do here is look for the wider safe spot, because these cones are going to expand and the small safe spots will not be safe. The boss will then cast Tender Drop. This will spawn multiple cacti on the map. Some are spiky and some aren't spiky, or some have flowers on top of them and some don't. We're looking for the ones that don't have flowers on top of them, as they're going to do small AoEs, while the ones with the flowers on top are going to do large AoEs. The boss will then use Barrel Breaker. This is a knockback from the center of the arena, so we want to get knocked back in the vicinity of one of the cacti without a flower on top. This gives us a safe spot and plenty of room to maneuver around. The boss will then cast Succulent Stomp. This is a group stack. And then the boss will cast Prickly Right or Prickly Left. All you have to do here is go to the opposite side and make sure you're on the boss's flank arrow, because again, this will expand and the safe spot is very tight here. The boss will then use Tender Fury, which is simply a tank buster. The boss will then use another Tender Drop with Heavyweight Needle. So we're looking at the cacti here, and we're also trying to find a safe spot. There is room to dodge after Heavyweight Needle goes off here, but you're going to have to think fast, so being in a good position near a cacti without a flower on top is always a good idea. Then at this point, it's simply rinse and repeat. The next boss will begin with Amphra Bomb, which is its main mechanic straight away. All you have to do here for now is just pay attention to where these circles are being dropped. These will be bombs, and you want to not be near the bombs as they'll do point blank AoEs and you don't want to be hit by those. Then the boss will cast another Amphra Bomb, and this time it's going to put it in one of the holes. In this example, it's putting it in the circular hole, which will mean these circular vents on the west side of the map will be line AoEs, so we want to not be in line with those. These two initial Amphra Bombs serve as an introduction to this mechanic. The next one will mix it up with a bomb going into one of the holes and placing bombs down on the arena. So we're going to have to pay attention to which hole is going to have a bomb thrown into it and where the bombs are scattered around the arena. There are several safe spots, so don't stress this too much. I would recommend first identifying which hole the bomb is being thrown in, make sure you are not in line with the same hole, and then check the bombs around the arena and make sure you're not close to one of them either. The next mechanic is a raid wide. Funnily enough, it doesn't begin the fight with this. The boss will continue to throw out bombs, but this time it's going to throw out a bomb in the square hole. Similar concept to the circles, we need to pay attention that we aren't in line with the square vents. Here I don't even look at the square vents, all I'm doing is looking at the circle vents and just being in line with them because I know the square and circle vents are not within the same line. The boss will continue to throw out bombs in a seemingly random order. It could be the circle vents, it could be the square vents. It will repeat this 3 times and then give everyone spread AoEs, so make sure you're not double clipping each other under all this chaos. Then it will cast Burning Coals, which is a group stack. And then Chimney Stack, which is a tank buster. And that's the fight. It's rinse and repeat up until this point, but it is pretty fast, so don't feel too bad if you don't get it straight away. You will get it over time. The final boss will start with Dubious Tully Disaster, which is a raid wide. Then it will cast a Bouncy Council. This first one will spawn 4 untargetable ads that will do line AoEs in the indicated direction. All you have to do here is identify a safe spot that isn't in line with one of the ads. The boss will then cast Scree of Fury, which is a tank buster. And then another Bouncy Council. This will spawn 4 ads again, but pay attention to how the ads are indicating. This means a point blank AoE on the ads. Keep this in mind because it will come into play later. All we're doing here is going to the corner of the arena, being nice and safe away from them. The boss will then cast Greatest Labyrinth. This draws everyone into the center of the arena and binds them for about a second and gives everyone Greatest Curse. Each corner is now glowing, but there will be 3 X's and 1 circle. The circle is the corner that will cleanse you of your debuff. This debuff lasts 17 seconds and must be cleansed, otherwise you'll die. But you do have 17 seconds to figure this out. You can't just go to the corner low, you have these arrows. You need to look at these arrows and see which starting arrow is going to take you to the correct corner of the arena. So don't stress this. Don't panic, you have an entire 17 seconds. Just look at the arrows and figure out which one is going to end you into the safe corner here. After that, the boss will cast another Bouncy Council, this time spawning 2 adds that will do point blank AoEs and 3 adds that will do line AoEs. First go opposite of the 2 adds that are doing point blank AoEs, then just make sure you're not in line with the adds that are doing line AoEs. The boss will then use Moist Summoning. This will spawn a big slime here that's going to throw out a group stack. This will happen 3 times, and then the slime will disappear. The boss will then cast Greatest Flood at one of the corners of the arena, and you'll see that the AoEs are in the way here. Now you could just say just put the AoEs in the corner or onto the side of the arena, but it doesn't really matter here, as you can just press arm's length or shortcast and just completely avoid getting knocked back by this mechanic and not having to do some weird strategy with the stack markers. The boss will then cast Greatest Torrent. This is going to spawn 3 sets of AoEs in 3 lanes. The idea here is to go into the second lane where the first lane started, and then just move into it once the first AoE has gone out. This will give you the most time to avoid this mechanic, and then the boss is going to target everyone with spread AoEs. Don't panic if you're all in the same spot initially here, let melees move back into the boss and range can kind of stay put. At that point, it's pretty much rinse and repeat until the boss is dead, and that is the 7th Dawntrail dungeon boss guide. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.